Hey guys, and welcome back to Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap. We're a piranha-man now, and I have to say, I think his, what should I buy today idle animation is my favourite thus far.
It does look rather amusing. Will we go for the burger or will we go for the cotton chips combo?
Alright, tell me the strengths and the weaknesses of Piranha-man, mate.
Piranha-man is actually one of those ones that doesn't really have huge weaknesses per se. His deal is that he can swim freely in the water, or even in lava if that ends up being a thing. So he's very much the guy you want to go to explore around the place, since, you know, he has more free reign in the water and all that. So before we actually get to his main dungeon, we've actually got another date with the desert to get through. I didn't like the fact that frog was running away, but you know what, I just went, you know what, I'm too tired for this, I will let you live.
Sometimes you've got to let the grudges go, mate. You've got to be the bigger Piranha-man here. Stop getting hit by frogs!
The blue ones are very tricky because they have this really weird jumping arc where they literally just jump on top of you, so it's a little tricky to avoid.
These ogres, they walk with such purpose, like they just wait for an appointment or something.
They're just waiting for us. It's just like, I'm gonna get him. I've been training my whole life for this very moment, and then, you know, he just gets stabbed a few times and dies.
Oh, but it was a human I was waiting for. It's very clearly a fish person.
And how's this fish in the desert anyway? This makes no damn sense. It's like he's some kind of fish man or something.
Technically, we're in the canyon area now. Let's not, you know, stereotype things wrongly here. Man, these flowers are giving you a bit of jib.
Unfortunately, the shield it doesn't quite cover your whole body, so sometimes you will get hit. But apart from that, the shield will protect you from most projectiles if you're positioned correctly, but positioning is a little bit more demanding for the sake of Piranha-man, since his shield is more of a buckler than a shield, I would say, in all honesty. But, you know, it gets the job done.
What is a buckler, per se?
A buckler is just like a very, very small shield. It's like, literally sort of like just about bigger than your wrist, so to speak. It's meant to be just very lightweight and used more for deflecting attacks than defending full-brunted onslaughts, as it will.
Oh, alright. To use a comparison from like another 2D platformer, Shield Knight in Shovel Knight, she has two shields. She has a big one, like a regular shield, and a small one on her wrist. I guess that's a buckler.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason why we're actually here is to pick up a specific piece of armor and also a accessory.
Okay.
And the armor will actually allow us to swim in lava, which we'll get to use pretty much immediately to find the accessory I was telling you about earlier. The accessory itself will allow us to break destructible blocks, which will open up many extra treasure, and is also actually needed to beat the game, so of course we'll want to get it for that purpose more than anything, but if there's treasure to be had, that's just even more of an incentive for you. Dude,
that's all part of being a hero. If there is treasure out there, it needs to be in here, and by in here I mean in my wallet.
We gotta put it in our piggy bank, so then we can sell it to the pig and get more loot. Yeah, that sounds about right. So here we go, this is the dragon male, scaly and immune to lava. Dragons can be fashion victims. I love the extra banter they put in when you just buy weapons and armor and things.
The sense of humour seems about as cute as the graphical style, honestly. It doesn't seem to come off as, I don't know, I want to say pretentious, but obnoxious. It just seems fairly natural.
Yeah, it's not forced in the least. Oh, those heads are so annoying. I hate them so much. Even in all the time I've played this game, I cannot deal with them. They are tricky motherfuckers, to say the least.
Just so nonchalantly pushing you off the screen. He doesn't even seem to care. He's like, yeah, I'm enchanted. What are you gonna do about it? It's a living.
The invincibility frames are generous to the point where it's both a blessing and a curse. Whereas you're not going to be taking damage left, right, and center, you're also going to be in positions where you just get joggled around for like 10 seconds. But you know, it's all good. As long as you're not taking the extra damage, it's fine by me.
Not really sure how a suit of armor protects the rest of your body from melting in lava, but you know, we're in, I don't know, 2D RPG / platformer / remake territory now, so I won't question it.
We've been turned into a lizard, a mouse, and a fish so far. You're really going to question how a suit of armor would not have magical charms or whatnot to protect you from lava.
That's what I do as the co-commentator who hasn't played the game.
That's fair enough, I suppose. So here we go. At this point, we have to be the Mouse Man, and we also got a sneak preview of something else that's going to be coming up, which is a special room where we can actually revert back to previous forms we've unlocked. And this will be very handy for combining particular forms in order to unlock more treasure and other such things like extra heart containers, extra shops, etc, etc.
Neat.
The Mouse Man's done his job, so we're going to turn back into the fish.
Would it be a bitch for the person who cursed you if they accidentally turned you back into a human and you just went home?
It's just like, well, this isn't what I expected. Do you fancy doing the rest of this question? Nah, I think I'll just go home.
I hired all these guys. I rented all these dungeon rooms. Nah, I'm just going to go and put my feet up, honestly. Bye!
The funny thing is that Wonder Boy does actually have a house in the town, but the problem is you can't actually get in because there's no door. And the door doesn't actually appear until the post-game.
Right. Are we actually going to be covering a bit of the post-game vault?
Yep, we are, actually. I'm going to show off all of the extra dungeons that were added for the remake. I'm going to show off something really, really cool here. We're going back to the other side of the desert. Now, did you notice anything suspicious about this treasure room?
I only noticed a bit of a dodgy crossfade, mate, honestly. Oh, secrets!
And there is treasure as far as the eye can see. I'm just going to jump over all these. Just look at this.
Oh my god. Oh.
And we're going to be collecting every single one of these.
I'm salivating, mate. Oh my god. So I guess the currency in Wonderland or whatever is friggin' dollars, according to the money bags.
Yeah, a little bit. Gold coins, dollars, I think you can use both here. But the only issue with this treasure room is it has a bit of a weird quirk to it, where you can only pick up one chest at a time. And when you pick up the other chest, the next one you try to pick up will boot you out back to the outside of the treasure room. So you gotta go ahead, kill the ogre, go back in, knock down the blocks, and then you may have your pick of the other chest. I think the idea was behind this particular treasure room is, I think many people were kind of expecting people to go, oh, maybe I can only pick one of these.
Yeah.
And maybe not a lot of people would think to kind of go back and try for the extra ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat that they kind of threw in a room like that, because it just raises so many questions when you're kind of playing through the game the first time. It's just like, why can't I open all these other chests? Why am I suddenly being booted out? How did I even get here in the first place?
I want all the treasure. Why can't I have all of the treasure instead of some of the treasure?
But yeah, this is a really, really good room to have if you need to restock. So one thing I would actually suggest, if maybe you're playing through the game the first time, or maybe if you're a veteran playing through the game in hard mode, is maybe save this room for if you accidentally die, because then at this point you can actually get all of your items replenished. There's about 8 of each of the fireballs, tornadoes, arrows, boomerangs, and lightning bolts. So it may just be a good idea just to save this room for a rainy day, so to speak. But you know what? I'm feeling confident in my abilities and that I won't die, so I'm just going to collect everything.
Yeah, right now. Now. Mount Splash will take me there right now.
Well, we got enough money to take the entire family and then some to Mount Splashmore. So there we go. We've almost collected all the treasure chests here, but it kind of gives me a bit of an opportunity to speak about the intricacies of this treasure room in general, because I personally found it quite interesting, because whilst I didn't find this particular room my first time playing through, it was one of those ones that I found when I was playing through, you know, when you're just like 17, 18 years old and you feel like playing a game that you used to play years ago. And you kind of think, well, I'm older and wiser now. Oh, there's destructible blocks around this entire treasure room. I wonder what this could mean. And then you just break them down and then suddenly treasure galore. But there we go. We are done here now, so we can get down to business with piranha-man's main dungeon.
Alright.
And in order to find that, we're going back to the beach because, well, it's full of water. It seems only right that piranha-man's dungeon, so to speak, end up being here.
Isn't that racial profiling if, you know, the Piranha Man has a piranha-themed level?
Well, it's not so much piranha-themed, but sea-themed. But I really, really like Piranha Man's level, to be honest. It's probably one of my favourites next to Lion Man's, just in terms of the aesthetics and how it's presented, especially in the remake and, like, the way that they redid the music, and you'll see what I mean when we actually get in there. But for now, there's more treasure to be had.
Ooh, Ooh, I love me some treasure.
The thing is with the breakable blocks as well is that they do occasionally have treasure in there, but the problem is you can only ever collect it once. So once you collect it, it kind of just becomes an empty block from that point on, even though it respawns miraculously. Suppose it's just to stop exploitation.
Where are we exactly when we go into these treasure rooms?
I suppose we're in the treasure dimension.
Ah.
It is a enclosed pocket of time and space, neither here nor there, but is in fact everywhere and filled with treasure.
I'm loving the steel drums in this.
It just makes you want to go to the beach. In fact, the weather's good enough for me to go down there, but it's far too hot.
Yeah, you told me of your escapades down to the coast to get a fucking burger and some sunny day.
Yep, and ice cream. Don't forget the ice cream.
Oh, of course.
When you unlock Piranha-Man for the first time, you essentially have a lot of access to treasure if you're willing to go out and look for it. So I figured, you know what? There is treasure to be had, so it's got to be picked up for the sake of the playthrough.
For the sake of me. I won't rest until we have every bit of treasure in this game.
As far as I'm aware, I did actually visit every treasure room there is to find.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Unless there's another one that I don't know about, and at this point I don't think there is. I think I've pretty much exhausted pretty much all the treasure rooms there are to find. But you know what? I've been surprised once before. It could happen again. Somebody could be in the comments and say, well, actually, you've missed this one.
Oh, to hell with you. I'm the master of this game.
I wouldn't go as far as saying that I am a master of this game, but you know, I played it enough that I am at least adept at it. I know what I'm doing. And I have enough memory to know where most of the things are. Which is very handy, because it means this playthrough went by very, very smoothly when I was recording it.
For some reason, I was like thinking of whether this game was going to appear at this year's Summer Games Done Quick, so let me just have a quick shifty. And no, sadly, Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap is not at SGDQ 2017, which is a bit of a shame.
I think maybe because it came out a little too late when they were getting all the scheduling and such. I would be highly surprised if it didn't make it into next year's Awesome Games Done Quick. In fact, I think it would be a crime if it didn't. It's well suited for speedrunning, especially with like hard mode and things like that, making it a little bit more interesting.
Ooh, tell us a bit about hard mode then, mate.
Okay, so hard mode in this game was added for the sake of the remake, and as you would expect, it does increase the health and damage of the enemies that you face. Some of the enemies, you have red enemies, green enemies, and blue enemies typically. So red's the weakest, green's like middle ground, and blue's the strongest. You start to see a lot more yellow enemies, which I believe are added pretty much just for the remake. I could be wrong on that one, but I don't recall ever seeing a yellow enemy in the original. And they are pretty much blue +1.
Right, the S-rank enemies.
Yeah, but the thing is, on top of that, they've added another extra element to the curse. So when you get cursed, there's a little egg timer that appears next to your health bar. And every 30 seconds, you take a third of a heart of damage, but if you pick up a heart pickup, it resets the timer as well as recovering your health like it normally would.
Interesting.
So it gives an extra element of speed and urgency to the whole affair, and also kind of forces you to pick your fights a little more wisely, because you don't want to necessarily be stuck fighting a large group of difficult enemies if you can just kind of jump and duck your way past them.
Yeah, of course.
Because, you know, you got a timer to worry about now that's kind of sapping away at your health gradually. It's a very, very interesting way of going about making it trickier outside of the normal, you know, just make the enemy stronger. Mm-hmm. And it's also more surprising that it actually fits thematically as well. So I gotta really give credit for how they actually thought of doing a hard mode that actually makes sense and actually makes the game decently challenging. I think I found enough treasure for now. I think we are ready to enter the pirate ship.
Oh wait, this is actually part of the dungeon proper?
No, this is kind of like an extra hub area that only Piranha-Man can really access, because, you know, he swims around and can get through all the obstacles needed in order to get here. So this is the dungeon itself, the shipwreck.
This place is cool.
Oh yeah, and the music is even cooler. It is suitably spooky. And a new enemy's also been introduced, which are these little spooky ghost things that pop out the ground.
I was gonna say,
and they are very annoying.
We've seen the witch blobs before, but not like the fucking spooky Halloween haunted house ghosts.
They have a horrible habit of popping up in front and behind you, so... Especially in this area, it pays to kind of take your time, take slow steps, and if you have boomerangs, it helps when they get you in these little pincer movements like this. So they add an extra degree of challenge here, where you have to maybe think a little bit more carefully about where you tread, unless you want to walk face first into a ghost, which is totally a thing in this game.
That's one of my hobbies, actually, but, you know, just for the sake of surviving, I'll abstain from doing it this time around.
Yeah, your Luigi's Mansion tendency will have to be put on hold for this particular playthrough.
And I want Luigi's Mansion free for the Switch, give it me, please!
Well, we got Splatoon 2 to look forward to until then.
Oh, and ARMS as well. ARMS is looking lit, mate.
Hopefully I'll be able to try it out when I go to London later this week. Very much looking forward to that.
Oh, they have those, like, exhibitions, for lack of a better word for ARMS, don't they?
Conventions, but yes.
That's the one.
One thing about these ogres is that the green and the blue ones will throw these boulders at you, and you can block them with your shield, but your positioning needs to be very precise to do so. But a neat little tidbit there for you. But yeah, I mean, between Splatoon 2 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think I'll have enough to satiate me until some of the extra cool stuff comes out, like maybe a new Smash, new Luigi's Mansion, maybe a new Phantasy Star Online, or maybe just give us PSO 2?
Well, you know, Sega is, you know, porting stuff that the fans have wanted for ages, so maybe they're starting to listen, you know, Sonic Forces, etc. If you're waiting for us to, like, talk about the Sonic Forces custom character thing, and you seem to be getting pinballed here, mate. What was I saying? Oh, right, the custom character. Yeah, just wait for the next Sonic playthrough, we'll discuss it there.
There we go. Well, no use on discussing it there if it's going to be discussed here, so we'll tantalize you with that little piece of information for now and leave you to it.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, we got more octopi to deal with. Luckily they're not too difficult to deal with if you've got the boomerang handy. And we got 14 of the things, so even if we lose a few, we're still going to be okay.
Oh, but I only have 13 boomerangs left, and after that is 12.
God, I love how they redid the music for this area. Because all the boss theme, all of the dungeon themes rather, and I suppose the boss themes by extension as well, were all pretty much the same theme in the original, but in the remake, they've kept to that theme, but they've made each one sound just that little bit different depending on the area that you're in. So with the shipwreck, it's obviously very much a spooky, kind of slow, underwater kind of theme. And when we get to the next area, that's kind of takes place in a sort of like a samurai dojo, so you expect more Japanese themes in there as well.
I swear to God, just like, yo, I'm turning off the recording.
Yo! And he's gone. Rip.
Man, I can't even imagine this on hard mode.
Yeah, it's pretty damn difficult because I do believe a lot of those ghosts end up being yellow ones, and the yellow ones of those are incredibly annoying. We're like talking multiple fireballs, ducking out the way, and, you know, just generally being assholes to you.
Yeah, that's ghosts for you, I suppose. They can never let things go.
And they just insist on being trolls as well. I mean, one look at the first season of Pokemon with the Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar trio.
Oh yeah!
I'll tell you that.
Ash fucking dies and then gets brought back to life.
That was always a bit weird, but it was a fun episode just because of Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, so, you know.
They were just lonely. They wanted friends to play with, really.
So here we go, this is boss time now. And this one's pretty tricky. His attack pattern's a bit weird and it does change up. However, I discovered early in my history playing this game is that you can actually force him into a jumping loop.
Ooh.
This is just me trying to set up that loop now, so I hit him with the boomerang a few times, just to get him in position. And then just wait for him to get there, and there we go, that's the loop.
Nice.
So anytime you hit him, he resets back to the start of his attacking pattern. So in this case, it's just a jump. And then after that would be the hooks. But of course, since we're hitting him before he gets to that point, he's just stuck in a constant jumping loop. And we just keep stabbing him in the face until he dies.
Silly question. Are all the bosses in this game dragons?
Yes.
Okay. I thought something weird was going on there for a second, but no, it's meant to be like that.
Well, it's called the Dragon's Trap. We want to make sure we stick to the theme here.
Haha, the trap was actually that there are no dragons. It's all leprechauns.
They're all entirely different things, in fact.
And we're turning into... a lion.
Oh yes, Lion Man. His main strength is that he attacks in an arc. So he'll attack above and below him, which gives him a lot more leeway in terms of where he can attack things, and of course taking as less damage as possible because he doesn't have to be directly in harm's way in order to hit things.
Let me guess, he's slower as a result.
No, he's actually about the same speed. He's also generally one of the strongest characters in the game. His attacking strength is actually on par with a human. But we'll get more into that in the next part, so tune in for part 4.
We'll see you guys this afternoon for another part of Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap.